Hey everyone, it's Libby from Meister Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people. That's WORIMI, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides in the universal energies. Entertainment only. I do apologise about the obscure title on my Miles and Hegseth video. Apparently, defence is censured from being in the title of a video. I was going to be really careful what I put in there. Went to load it, put Australia's Defence Minister think of Hegseth. No likey, so therefore defence is obviously not allowed. Oh, okay. What I want to have a look at in this particular reading is something I got quite a pull on over the weekend. It was basically a vision of the US at the moment. Now, when I say a vision, the vision was that the US government at the moment is a prime beachfront location, Art Deco hotel, whatever you like to call it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful hotel with the curves and the windows and you name it. However, it was last updated in the 1980s. Now, this is what I'm getting when I was thinking about hacking into the particular systems. It was last updated in the 1980s. Now, if you have told me that a lot of the systems currently in use were put in place in the 1980s. Now, those of us that lived through the 1980s know that it was wall-to-wall beige, boring, dull, but of the time. So beige, off-white, no colour, you name it. Anyhow, so beige walls, beige floral print bed covers. Just you remember those awful brown bed covers. Um, uh, with okay, I'm going to say this. This is what I got. The beige walls, the beige bed colours with too many pay by the hour cosses on the bed covers. I'm just going to put it out that way. The clunky big TVs, the dark brown laminate, blah, 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 blah. That's what I'm getting that the US is at the moment. Beautiful heritage location, prime location, heritage building, but inside it's just ghastly. Now, the vision I was shown that the inside was trashed by squatters, or we know who the squatters are. The TVs were thrown on the grounds, bed covers were ripped off, graffiti on the walls, yeah, you name it. It was just absolutely awful. But what I then got, it was absolutely ghastly. The Five of Pentacles. This is what the US is going through at the moment. The squatters trashing the beautiful heritage of the Art Deco hotel in the prime location, and ordinary people being shut out. They can hear it happening, they can see it happening, but the doors are locked and they're shut out. The windows are boarded up. The doors are barred. So what I got from that vision though is that it will end as I split the deck again. It will end. And what will happen is the entire Art Deco hotel will need to be gutted back to its bare bones and rebuilt inside. And it will be rebuilt modern, classical, in keeping with the Art Deco times. Now, I don't know why I'm getting Art Deco. I went to go write Art Nouveau because I love Art Nouveau. Art Nouveau, if you think it's being built by fairies, whereas Art Deco is built by dwarves, is basically what I get. I would have thought brutalism would have been the dwarves, but anyhow. So what I'm really getting is when this is all over, the entire structure of the US government is going to have to be gutted and rebuilt. However, the structure itself, all that is good, will be saved and restored. So it's just this ghastly 80s stuff that's on the inside. And if you think about it, Reagan was the president in the 80s, and what's happening now all started with Reaganism, busting the unions, um, removing the truth in journalism, trickle-down economics, which has never worked. Tax breaks for the very wealthy, saying, oh, yeah, well, if they get some money, they'll trickle it down to the very poor. No, it doesn't, because all they do is go and buy another yacht or another government or put another spaceship to blow up. If you actually give the money to the people on the bottom level, they will spend every dime into the economy. So trickle up, brilliant. Trickle down, never worked, never has. Okay, so I just want to have a look, just as a bit of a reading today. Show me about this vision. What do we need to know about this vision with the US going forward? This is all about community. When we're talking about trickle up, it's about from the community upwards, finding your tribe. Now, I did say in one of Friday's readings, if you're looking for your tribe, put in, vaguely where you're from. You don't need to say exactly if you're worried about it. I will have to have a look into perhaps having a membership platform, but I'd like to charge 50 cents a month or something for it so that you guys can talk behind the scenes, because I don't want to make any money out of a membership platform, because that's not what it's about. I'm not going to be offering anything different than what I do publicly, but it just means you're out of the public view. So I'm going to have a look at that over the next couple of days, and it will just be like a nominal payment because I have to charge something, and hopefully it'll keep the riffraff out. If not, I'll just have to monitor it fairly closely. But yeah, this is very much about finding your tribes if you feel you're a blue dot. So what do we need to know? The energies of this vision that I had. Show me now. Times are awful. As I have said in my last two videos, I was having a look at my solar return that Denise Knight had done for me. I'm due for another one in a couple of months. But I was just reading through it, the overview summary. She then does, days by days, etc. Really in depth. What did she tell me? She said, be careful of being too rash, only because at times you might feel edgy and impatient, because your boys need to be reminded, my boys, my guides, even though one's female, that Earth does not move on the same time as the realm. Oh, okay, come on down. Let's have a look. I've got two cards that have popped out, and I love that this was the second card that popped out. It is my Harris card, but it can also be about, because for me, Queens are about internally doing. This is about internal truth, internal logic, internal wisdom, internal strategy and planning. I know Wands are planning. This is more about strategy. This is about bringing forth the truth. And I love that in this card, the white pigeons of freedom and hope and peace are flying. So let's see where this goes. This was the first card that flew out. So in regards to this vision, this is about loss and walking away from what no longer serves. Interestingly enough, the evangelical church, or the other churches, I don't know which churches it was, I just know the churches because I don't really follow it, I just saw some headlines, are really cheesed off. Because what is happening is Pam Bondi, who was put in as the DOJ, has now set up an anti-Christian investigation task force or something. Like, what? Like what? Talk about separation of church and state. I don't think so. And Trump is also appointed, apparently by executive order, because that's how he ruled, and that's how I warned he would rule prior to the election. He has appointed one of his, apparently his spiritual leader, as if his spiritual advisor, as if he actually is spiritual at all. Uh, a rabid television evangelical as the faith office. The faith office of the White House. Like, really, what? So anyhow, so yeah, just another group that is cheesing off, that have had their eyes opened and are walking away from him. Second signifier, we have this female energy coming forward. Oh, please, please, I don't know whether it's Harris or not, but uh, I, j- I keep saying it's going to get crazy. I keep saying buckle your seatbelt up. Look, to be honest, I didn't believe how crazy it would get. I honestly didn't foresee how nutso it would get, and it really feels like it's building to a culmination. The more that he cheeses off emotionally and they walk away from him, the more we're going to get to this turning point. And I'm just going to point out that the reason why he's here for the second term, oh man, I hate this, but anyhow, was because he was supposed to have done all this in his first term. I can't remember who said it over the weekend, but they were very accurate with that. But in his first term, he had surrounded himself by advisors who actually were decent at their job and knew what they were doing and held him in check. This isn't happening this term around. But the big difference with the last term, I'm going to say COVID got in the way of the lesson being learnt, because COVID gave and boy, oh boy, these words are going to, I've said election, now I've said COVID, these words are going to get this particular video tampered down. COVID enabled him to pit people against each other. If COVID hadn't happened and he didn't have, because all he ran on was basically lock up Hillary and those brown people are taking your jobs, he would have been, everything would have been exposed, that election, that administration around. COVID got in the way and gave him the perfect tool to pit one side against the other. Mask wearers against those not wearing masks. Vaccinated against non-vaccinated. Science against conspiracy theories. It played right into that. Now, the US had the opportunity to make the right choices that time round, and they chose, I'm not talking about you, I know you guys chose the right side of history, but there was too many that didn't. What's happening now is they're being given another opportunity. And the light is shining brightly this time round. I call it the feather, the brick, the Mack truck. And this is a Mack truck administration. The feather administration was probably Bush the second with his weapons of mass destruction when he was handed the position over Gore, when Gore very clearly won, but so Bush the first stacked the Supreme Court, started back in the Reagan era, where, well, I'm just going to say, started back in the Reagan era with all that Reagan did. This video is not long enough to go into all that Reagan did. Started back in the Reagan era. Can't remember was it Clinton that came next, who then sort of, aside from, having an affair with an intern, so, pretty okay. And then we had Bush the first, the warmonger, who stacked the SCOTUS. Actually, it might have been somebody else in the middle there. I can't remember, because it might have been Clinton after Bush the first. And then you had Bush the second, who came in and literally stole the election from Gore because his daddy had stacked the SCOTUS. Then we had Obama, who kind of fixed things a bit. And then we had Trump. So I'm going to say Bush the first, Bush the second was the feather. Trump the first was the brick stage. And we've got Trump the second as the Mack truck. Now, Trump the first, the era was also testing the waters as to what the US voters would tolerate and how they could be manipulated. Anyhow, so we're now at this second stage, and there's a lot of waking up. A FAFO, F-A-F-O. If you don't know what it is, put it in Google and find out. Second signifier, though, we've got this energy. Walking away. And then we've got this, it's my Harris card, this female energy. Sorry, this video, this is going on forever. Okay, the energies in the background. So I'm asking about the energies of this particular vision I had. The energies in the background, the opportunity is being presented to put this right. There's an opportunity. This could be the churches, the higher authority, government, the money behind Felon 45, if it's the church. Let's see where this goes. Okay. Nine of Wands. It is about guardrails, boundaries, but it's also about having one's back up against the messaging that stood solid and surrendering to it. So I'm feeling this is the church here. That's why I'm getting that pull towards Bondi, and I didn't write her name down, but the faith office person. I'm getting the church here. The money of the church, the support of the church, are having a FAFO moment. We've got, what is that? The Eight of Pentacles. Sorry about the light, it's in and out. We've got some storms coming through. Hard work going on behind the scenes, or it could be money trails. The energy, the karma hanging over this energy is the steel, the Seven of Swords. And we've got change. The karma hanging over it is changing, something to do with the steel. Information being brought forward. The money trails behind the scenes. The higher authority could be NATO. I do want to have a look at the ICC. Bringing out information in regards to contracts and agreements, but it's also, this card is about the fading misogynistic patriarchal energy and the rise of the feminine. Harsh truth coming forward about those that financially benefited. Yeah, I'm thinking this is more ICC NATO energy. And packing up this truth and moving forward into karma, stability, leaving behind the clouds of the darkness in regards to the false victory. And there's serious investigation going on into the snake and the path that is going to bring about a new beginning. Okay, I'm on this track again. When enough people have walked away, this will take place. And I'm feeling that the church is another one. We've got those that are feeling they won, but they're feeling lost and disappointed. You didn't mean me. It was that other person over there. It's going to lead to infighting, a big wake-up moment. We've got the Tower, card of the administration, and then the secrets will be brought to the surface and revealed. So I've been saying for months, it feels like months, feels like forever now. Sorry about the delay, it's while my light trackers, because the weather's doing the weather thing. When enough people walk away who get to this stage where they go, I voted for you, but you didn't mean me. Now, so I saw this morning someone put in one of my comments, was it your sister and brother-in-law or something along those lines, who had previously paid $10 per script under the Affordable Care Act, but they didn't want Obamacare. Oh, not Obamacare. Their script's now $600 for one, and I think $100 for the other. But why me? What happened? Apparently they were real Trumpsters. Guess what you voted for? To get rid of Obamacare. And when enough turn cult from the inside, a cult can only be destroyed from the inside. That's when we're having this, we're having this, we're having this. Fading misogyny, patriarchal, the truth about the false victory, the investigation, the new beginning. This is, and it's keep saying the same over and over, and I cannot give you a time frame. I do apologize. Now, what I would suggest is that you arm yourself with questions to ask when you get these Trumpsters, MAGAs, whomever, because the families are finding themselves at an end of a cycle. They're reaching the end of their tether. Have a series of questions. Don't say, I told you so, well, this is what I voted for. Have a question about just ask them so I'm just trying to think of a way to put it. So, for example, in regards to this medication of, oh, why do you think that is? Make them come to the conclusion themselves. And if they say, just ask them, oh, was it because Trump wanted to get rid of Obamacare? Or something along those lines. Make them come to the conclusion themselves, because when enough walks away, when enough feel betrayed, that's when we're looking at this change. Okay. To read on. Okay, I might leave that there. Oh gosh, so many topics. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to leave it in bite-sized pieces because you do not feel obligated to watch them all. Love to you all. Take care.